going on an adventure. Hey everyone, my name's Dan, and this is my channel, Mindful Missionary. I just slipped away from my family walk just for a little bit. We're having a little bit of family time today because I want to share with you guys a little bit about this little visit to the U.S. that we're on. When we first moved to Sierra Leone to preach the gospel, we knew that in about a year's time we'd be coming back to the U.S. And I think at that point in time, this trip was kind of aimed at being a trip of refreshment, of kind of like nonstop eating the foods we didn't have access to in Sierra Leone, or enjoying the air conditioning and just spending time with friends and family and just relaxing and things like that. And that might actually be the perception I think of a lot of people have when they see us, is they maybe ask about, oh, you enjoying air conditioning, you enjoying eating out, you enjoying drinking your favorite beverages that you don't have access to in West Africa. But I think several months before making this trip back to the U.S., our focus and our aim and purpose towards this trip, this shifted significantly. And that's because some of these creature comforts that we initially, when we first arrived to Sierra Leone, that we missed a lot, suddenly we just kind of learned contentment and learned really to miss them a whole lot less than we anticipated. But then secondly, we began seeing more and more of what God was doing in Sierra Leone and even in our own lives. And as we anticipated this upcoming trip to the U.S., I think there grew within us like this burden and obligation and responsibility to share that message and to share that information and that news. And so that's really been something that has taken center stage in the purpose and in our aim and how we spend our time here. And so we're spending time, visiting family and friends. We're having plenty of Dr. Peppers while we're here, and we're eating really good meals, and we're enjoying some of the AC. But to be honest, the thing that we are most eager to do, and the things that we're just scrambling every day thinking about how we can accomplish, is how can we tell people about what great things God is doing in Sierra Leone, both with the people there and even in our own lives as we've grown as Christians. And so that has resulted in a lot of just one-on-one appointments, just sharing and talking with people about that. That's resulted in a lot of church assemblies that have asked me to be able to come and present a lesson or a report regarding the kingdom work being done in Sierra Leone. And a lot of similar opportunities like that. And those are the things that I feel most eager to do, because in my mind, what God is doing in Sierra Leone is amazing and it's marvelous. And that's something that God needs to receive thanks and God needs to receive glory for that. Oh, let me change positions here. So I guess in a sense, the real purpose of this trip has shifted in my mind and in the reality of it, where these trips aren't merely for relaxing, for taking it easy, or even for times of refreshing. In some ways, these trips are just as much a mission trip as what we've been on. And I think as long as we're living abroad, as long as the Lord allows us the privilege of being able to witness what great things He is doing in these maybe distant countries that the people that we grew up with here in the States don't know about, as long as we're in that position, I think whenever we come back, there will be a mission and purpose-oriented, aim for these trips. So I share that really for two different reasons. The first reason is perhaps not every foreign missionary or preacher has this kind of attitude towards their U.S. trips, but I do, and I think a lot of us do. And so maybe just keep that in mind the next time you see a foreign missionary that's coming back, maybe visiting, that it's really not as much a time of relaxation and refreshment as much as it is them feeling this obligation to share what great things God is doing from where they're living. And so maybe that means, okay, if they're not going to seek out those times of refreshment, maybe you can be a blessing to them and provide that for them and take initiative in that. And the second reason why I think this might be noteworthy for you is that the truth is, every one of us, regardless of whether or not we're living in West Africa, or if we're living in southern Indiana or El Paso, Texas, where I am right now, or if it's Boston, Massachusetts, or it's anywhere in between, you, like me, are witnesses of what great things God is doing in your life, in the life of people around you, in your community. God is changing lives everywhere. Just because God's so active in Sierra Leone, West Africa, does not mean He's any less active where you are. And so maybe just think about that. The next time you guys go to a family reunion or a family vacation, the next time you're on a business trip, the next time you're traveling for whatever reason, instead of viewing the primary purpose of that venture as being a time of refreshment and relaxation, yeah, you can do those things, that's fine, but try to find someone that could be impacted by hearing of what God is doing where you are. And share that information and share that message in a way that gives that person a reason to glorify and praise God. So anyway, that's just something to think about, ponder about. I appreciate you guys checking in. I'll catch you next time.